Hey everyone, Corrie Thorne here, the founder and creator of More Than Existing. I am a modern day mystic, a psychic medium, and everything in between, a published author. And my work is about helping to empower, inspire others to be able to know that there is a beautiful essence within ourselves, and that beautiful essence is for us to discover. The biggest thing I always say is the best thing you can ever do is break up with you. So and relearn and really truly relearn. So one of the things that we're doing today, what I'm doing today is I am actually recording all of the predictions for each and every month. If you have missed my yearly prediction for the big whole year in the general, well, there is two parts. And so if you go onto the YouTube channel and you can catch the two parts of the yearly predictions for 2023. So I will be doing each and every sign. And thank you for being with me and for always supporting me. Also, please remember, these do not replace any medical, psychological advice or anything else that you have been given. They are to be taken as entertainment. I am not working with anybody on an individual level, session right now. So these recordings are for you and for you to be able to just allow yourself to check back in over the year and to just see what happens. And remember, it's general, so it doesn't resonate with everyone. It may not connect with you at all. And if it doesn't, feel free to check your other signs. I'm not an astrologer. I read energy. I work with energy. So this is about the energy that is happening and existing throughout each and every sign. So thank you so much. And I look forward to sharing these with you. Hello to those with their Cancer energy, as your sun, as your moon, as your rising, or wherever it may be. If you're cross watching for someone else and this message feels like it's for you, then maybe it's for you today. So Cancer energy, this is a year of when, your emotions may kind of either be on the rise in a beautiful way, or they may be on a challenging way. It's hard to know. So for Cancer energy moving forward, the energy was moving everywhere. It was hard to get it to lock down, to lock in. But we keep moving with it. We keep allowing it to just give us what we need. So as we channel through this and we ask for, what is in store for Cancers and what is the energy of Cancer? And it feels like there is, really taking a new path, a new direction. And I don't know why, I just heard the name Diana. And I'm like, I just got Diana. And I feel like I have Lady Diana coming in. I don't think she's not a Cancer sign. I'm pretty sure she's not, but I don't know why I have her. But the essence of Lady Diana, like her life was beautiful. It was all these things and people admired her. But people also didn't know she was also a human, and she had all of these human qualities and isms and things of her own and challenges that she faced. Life wasn't perfect. She just kept moving. And she was on the move constantly until that last moment, that last experience in her life. And I don't know if there's someone here who has someone on the other side who has a big tie to the royal family, to a connection to the royal family, or they were always like, or you yourself was always fascinated with Lady Diana. There is an amazing book written by her spiritual guide, her spiritual mentor, which I love. And it's about finding our true voice. And it's amazing how, you don't really know your voice. You think your voice is your voice. You think when you speak, it's your voice, but it's not your voice. So there is something of a resistance around the Cancer season. I feel like for the Cancer year, something you're unwilling to let go of that's had that continually. And I feel like this comes in isms, habits. Habits is what I keep getting. So this habit, this ism, this behavioral pattern is a consistent that is this year. I feel like you're going to have to face. I feel like you're going to have to, it's kind of that thing that not everyone in the world or everything in the world is the ones that are constantly doing unto you. I have it as my moon. So Cancer is my moon sign. So it's how I emotionally respond to the world. And so the essence of I get this, I understand where this is coming from. I know mine. When you know those parts of your personality, so some of this is personality traits, some of this is subconscious, fed to the subconscious. So conditioning, programming from the repeat patterns of people in our lives. And so we have beautiful transformation and mirror. She is in reverse. So she is in attitude. So all of these three cards that I pulled are attitude. So there is some major attitude adjustments that are taking place that are for your highest good, that are allowing you or enabling you to be able to start to move forward in a more adult way in adult relationships. And whether it's complaining is a big one. We complain when we have fear, when we feel like we're not being accepted. It's fear and insecurities. Complaining walks ahead. So that's your shadow is always walking ahead of your light, and it appears first. And it can be destructive to self in how people perceive us, right? And so that sense of judgment, if you're in a room and you're already complaining about the people in your lives, the people listening are probably thinking, am I the next one you're going to complain about? Right? It's like the world just can't seem to sometimes do enough for you if you got to find something else to be sad about. And most times we don't even know this is happening because it has been a lifetime. So I feel like the divine is a divine intervention and saying your own attitude is your own obstacle. And sometimes it's also the attitudes of others around us, but your own attitude is your own obstacle. Remember that is what we suppress leaks out. What we don't give voice to, what we don't give freedom to, what we don't release. And I don't mean you got to tell everyone everything you think of them, but when we don't release it, when we don't surrender it, it seeps out as attitude and unhealthy. There's healthy attitude. And so it is being turned around so that it can be inspiration for the future, because you are in this beautiful transformation that's not fully able to go because you're still complaining about what happened back here or what's back here or who's not or where you're not accepted. You're not seeing that you are the one that set fire to this, that you somehow are a part of your past, that when you look back in the past, you have to see you as a factor in your life. And so this world is waiting for you to look in at you. And I don't mean to do this in a negative way. So this is the key. And this is like a big flash sign to you. This is not to be done in a negative way. It is to be done in a loving way. It is to be done with just knowing that we all have flaws, and we're not going to be able to perfect them all. And we're not here to perfect them all. We're always going to be imperfect, but it's for us to be aware of them, so that when we can feel ourselves stepping into the experience, we can step back, take a breath, and ask yourself, what is really happening here? What am I really feeling? What story am I telling myself? Because when you tell yourself the story over and over that nobody likes me, nobody accepts me, I do everything and nobody does nothing back in return, that can be, a martyr complex, right? That can be, that sense of being in our martyr complex is I'm always the one available. I'm always showing up. Nobody else shows up. I'm the one who does everything. That's the narrative you tell yourself, so you can return to your victim mentality, to your victim story, so that you can be a victim to everything else. Well, that gets old. And so what you're doing is then you deny people the opportunity to be present in your life. But you also then are, telling other people they're not enough. They're not good enough. And they're never going to be enough. And it's not, and most times we don't even know that's happening. And so you may be doing that to yourself, you may be doing that to the world around you, but it's present. And it's because there's this sense you don't believe in you. And so hollow is, in the hands of God. It is the gift of God. We are the gift of God consciousness. You are your blessing. You are the miracle. You are your savior. You are the things that you need. But when you're living in peace, when you've taken pieces of you and you take the pieces that suit, and you don't take the pieces that are not great qualities and you're trying to avoid them, you can see them in everyone else, but you don't want to see them in yourself. This is the year to see them in yourself and know that they do have a place. They do fit, because that same one that complains, also the same one that may be the one having, complaining, having grievances, is also the same one that sometimes sees things that other people can't see. And so it's not that it's a bad thing, it's learning to turn it around to be an inspiration, to stop and say, what else is going on here? What story am I telling myself? So using it as inspiration and bringing those pieces back together. So the fragments of us, we get to choose who and what we are, and when we get to create that self and how we present ourselves to the world. You choose what you present to the world. So if you walk in bolder than larger than life, and you're already pushing the energy back and you're pushing everyone else back, what you're doing is you're making sure that everyone in the room knows that you have to be you have to be seen, that you have to be that person. Because what you're telling people is instantly, it's that whole sense of, I'm going to make sure that you include me. And that instantly becomes the pushback of being pushing back, right? And so when you can see all sides of that story, you can see how your suppressed stories, the suppressed energy, leads down to other people feeling the resistance, feeling the negative of the battery, right? It's like the positive and the negative. What is the positive? What is the negative? I teach this in my healing course, in my Healing the Healing, and I show the battery. And, it's like when the positive and the negative. And, we need to know that we will always we're not going to be all sunshine and friggin' butterflies every day. It's not possible. But something of this is saying that, this becomes what you believe sometimes to be the positive of your traits may be the negative to somebody else, because it may be allowing others to feel like you constantly are in a state of criticizing, judging them. That's your defense mechanisms. So that protection is sometimes overruling your faith. And so that brings in the diamond effects. And the diamond effects, which looks nothing like this card now, it's it's the diamond effect to outgrowth effects. This is Christiana. This is my cards. And so it is, what we do to us, what we tell ourselves, what we feed ourselves, what we believe becomes what we put out. It's the effects into the world. It is the rays of energy, the rays of light, the frequency, the vibration, however you want to put those words. And so bringing ourselves together, this is a year of turning the story around and turning the narrative around, instead of reflecting in the world that it is so, full of assholes and so doing you all wrong, and that everyone has always been the problem, no matter where you are, and that's not your everyday. Don't get me wrong. This is in little areas of our lives. This may be a speck of dust. It is like getting a pebble in your shoe. You get a pebble in your shoe, and if it stays in your shoe for too long, it becomes irritation, right? It'll irritate the skin. So this is like a little piece of the story, but it's the big irritation that continually returns into some sort of attitude. So we're turning the story around this year and stepping fully into the power of being able to transform the thoughts and how we see things, how we think of these situations, and bringing the pieces of you together. And I just have this sense of, this beautiful angelic realm just saying, you were never, all the things that you believed, you were never alone. You were never forgotten. You were never those things, because we always had you. You always had you. So when you say no one cares, there is somebody, and that somebody has always been you. You've cared enough to really, truly care enough to keep these stories alive. So if you've cared enough to keep the stories alive, you've always been pushing and pulling and for you to fit in, for you to belong. That's you. That's you. That's you. So you've cared, and you do care, and you care. And when you say to yourself, I don't care what people think, you do care. We all care on some level. We have to just stop caring to the degree that it has an impact, that it brings out the attitude. There's the difference. So this is a year of really truly being aware of those things so that you can transmute this energy, so that you can give it to God, so it can be transmuted back as love, as wisdom, so that you can step more into that sense of, seeing that all things and all opportunities are opportunities. They give us an opportunity to heal, to transform, to move forward. This is a soul connection. So I feel like this is coming into a deep, deep soul connection, a deep connection with yourself. And all the cards are 26, 23, 24, which takes us into 6, 4, or 8. And that comes down into 4 and 5s. And I have a 5. And so there is a lot of numbers coming up here. We are stepping into a 7 year. So it's like you're at the top of the mountain, and here's this moment where you can go back or you can go forward. But who's going back and who's going forward? So, this is a year where you will make soul connections, but you got to get to the root of what the soul is trying to tell you, how the soul is trying to be the inspiration. Your own soul is trying to inspire you to stop letting those little specks of sand become irritations, to release those narratives, to be able to get into present and future possibilities. So in present moment and into future possibilities, so that you don't kind of start telling yourself a story again that is a continual repeat, so that you don't go on repeat. I don't know where this is in your life, but I feel like there is a repeat possibility. It's like being a repeat offender. We're all repeat offenders of something, right? And so being a repeat offender of something within our lives, because you have an attachment, here's the B, right? You have an attachment to an old narrative, an old story, an old habits. There's some old habits. So I feel like this year is a time for Cancers to release the habits, the isms, the addictions to whatever. We all have addictions, whether it's to your phone, to a story, to a behavior, to a habit that we have, whatever it may be. And that we can do this, defying the odds this year. You're defying the odds to be, you have the ability to defy the odds, to be able to set yourself free. This is a heart-centered healing. And there is such a temptation to kind of break the thread, but staying connected, staying, into that sense of the soul part, the soul of it all, in the soul, to the soul. This is a year of maturity. A lot of things are maturing. So there's a lot of things. It may be the year where, you may have been receiving money for something, maybe child support, it may be something, and it's the year that it now ends. Or it may be the time of, retirement, or it may have been some funds that you've invested in and it's maturing, but it's also you. So it's like, this is kind of all that you have been investing into you. This is the year of maturity. Things are maturing. Things are evolving. And so there is a level of maturity that is to be, blossoming and growing and evolving in emotions and spiritual essence, in life, in relationships, in all areas of your life. And when things mature, they look different. So they're not always the same, but it doesn't mean it's not in your life. It just means it's now built a new way to be, a new relationship, a new connection. And with that maturity then brings in mature energy, mature people. And so the essence of, if you walk into a mature environment and you're the one who walks in your defensives, in your immaturity, is not that people are not inviting you in, is that you're already rejecting yourself. You're already rejecting it because you're already trying to find the child section. You're already trying to find the past versions of you section. So you're trying to find something of the past, people of the past, where you feel like you connect, because you don't want to challenge yourself to be able to step forward in your maturity. And this is the year to be able to allow yourself to step forward into maturity. So I feel like this may, very much benefit you in a job interview, in a new job, in new opportunities, as you move forward, as you grow, as you evolve. It may also be able to help you in areas of your life in being able to start a new relationship, being able to go into a beautiful, healthy relationship, maybe with your children who are also maturing. So if you have children and you're a mother, it's you evolving the mother role and letting the kids mature. They're not emotionally, spiritually responsible for you ever. You decided to have children. Children didn't decide to have you. You may have signed the soul contract on a soul level, but children didn't decide to have you. You decided to have children. You made that decision. And then they were only children for a period of time. They were only babies for a period of time. And so they need you in different ways, and the relationship evolves and changes. And so that may be a big influencing factor moving forward. You may see your children maturing. You may see the birth of new children coming into the dynamics that then gives you the opportunity to mature into the role of a grandparent and developing that relationship from a grandparent stance, and then being a parent to people, to growing children that then have children. So you may see that cross-pollination type of thing. You may see that evolution of something blossoming in a new way happening in your life. And you got to be the person you need to be for that relationship. So that's why to take out those grains of sands, those pieces that become irritations, that become bigger than they need to be resolved, because I feel like this year also brings in beautiful new beginnings, and that things are really working out. We have transformation, we have the sun. So release, we have release and we have the sun. So in the release energy, it's just like really, just finally moving on from the past, finally setting you free of that. And that means our attitudes. Remember that. And it's time to move on. It's time to grow up. It's time to grow emotionally and spiritually. We call it emotional intelligence. And to know that we get trapped in and we emotionally evolve by those experiences. And when we have those areas where we refuse to see the role we played or the part we played in them, is that we can sometimes stonewall ourselves in life. And so this is breaking through that brick wall. No longer stonewalling, no longer getting that defensive, no longer stepping in survival mode, no longer stepping in and waiting for the worst to happen in every situation. There's unicorn here, there's magical here. And I just feel like the sun represents that of the power. The sun can move mountains, right? It's like the sun shines on my crystal ball, and I've almost burnt down the house several times because I forget that that the sun mixed with touching the crystal ball, the prism of light, the power that is amplified, the magnitude of it burns holes in things. And I've literally almost burnt down vehicles and houses and stuff like that because I put the crystal ball up for a full moon and then forget to take it out the window. I moved, it was in my car, forgot it was in the car. It was in a bunch of paper towels, and paper towels were under it. Caught the paper towels on fire. It's just such power, right? So it is, what is more powerful than us? Release the control, release trying to force these fixes and these changes, and just surrendering in and just saying, I ask of the divine to come in and help me open myself up, open my heart, make me available to this beautiful love and light that allows me to see my own reflection in my own mirror, to look into me, not to tell myself all of the things that I'm going to keep encouraging myself and saying, what do you need to do today? Right. And like, be that adult that you need to be, instead of sometimes just like fluffy surface work. This is some deep work. And so, because I just feel like there's there's whatever is in that imagination of yours, whatever's in that mind of yours. I just feel like it's like when you step into a place of gratitude and love, life is going to unfold some absolutely beautiful experiences and moments for you. But it will depend on your ability to be able to let go. And then your fun, being able to be fun is, in a matured self, is liberating. There is a freedom to that because you don't have to act out. You don't have to act. It just is. And you're able to see that fun and have that fun. And this sense of being free and liberated to not have to try to force things in your life, that it just is. And I feel like for some of you, there is a relationship that is not going to be forced. And it's also improves the relationships that you have this year. I feel like this is an opportunity to really enhance and improve your relationships, but it's also an opportunity for some people who are looking for a relationship, that there is a new opportunity for a very matured, developed, beautiful relationship to be able to take place. One where I feel like you get to be cared for, supported in a way of saying, come with me. I'm going to take you on these trips. I'm going to take you to this place. I'm going to take you with me. I want you to be with me. I want you to go, and not you chasing, going, don't forget me, don't leave me out. Not you seeking and searching to find something wrong with people, but that you start to see the right. And when you see all the good, and when you see the right things in you, then the way that you need to see them, and when you turn those things around and you allow it to be wisdom, and you allow it to work for you instead of against you, less defensive, less in that overprotective mode, and more in that sense of being open to experiences, open to the beautiful things, and open to life. By autumn, I'm just like, I feel like you need to have some patience, because it feels like it's like you may be thinking, oh, it's the year is almost over and things haven't happened. Well, that's how we talk about miracles and blessings. Is, you got to stop seeking it and you got to start allowing it. When you stop seeking it and you start allowing it, things just start to happen. Moving yourself out of the way, get out of your own way, and just have patience. It's a year of patience. It's a year of just knowing that seeds that we plant, this is the pumpkin 7, right? Sitting on the pumpkins, waiting for that right moment. And so the pumpkins, so when you're sitting and waiting, sometimes when you keep looking and waiting for something, you can't see that the seed is already grown and you're already sitting on your blessing. You can't see that you're sitting on everything that you need. Everything that you need is already here. It's within you. And so just having the patience that all of the details of it are waiting, just waiting for someone to come choose the pumpkin. So the right version of you has to choose that version of you. But I feel like it's like this also goes right back to that sense of, things are maturing. There is like investments, or, it's like the year will be a shit show in a lot of ways, but someone has to be the adult instead of running around screaming. And so even though the world is a shit show, I feel like it's like, if you really truly turn these moments around, you will be truly investing into things that are really going to be planting some beautiful seeds for a flourishing garden, for a flourishing year, where things are really going to flourish, where things are really going to take off. And that just have patience, because I feel like that turnaround in money, turnaround in events, like things are just turning back around and coming back in for you, and inviting in a lot of new things and beautiful things into your world and into the year that is coming for you. So I just see some people like either building a home or moving into a new home as well. There is a house, like building a house or moving into that beautiful home. And just having that sense of sometimes, or someone's inviting you into a beautiful life and you can't make up your mind. So it's like, there is going to be some like, and I feel like this is later in the year, where you're just like, oh, should I not? Don't let the past deter you from what is possible for your future. That's your key. Do not, and it's the 2 of winter, indecision, that holds you back, right? And so it's like, don't let the past deter you from the moments and the opportunities that are waiting for you in the future. And the bottom is, a 5 of autumn. Here's another 5. Transformation happens when the first thing we do is we learn the power of asking. Sometimes we need to ask. Sometimes we need, to ask for guidance. We need to ask for support. And other times we need to wait. So sometimes we need to sit back. Sometimes we need to just wait on things, wait until the decision appears to us, wait until it comes. And I kind of get crap for this sometimes is, I'm like, it's not the right time. Like I may say I'm doing something, but then to push it to, really push it out there. It's like, no, we already know it's happening, but it's not time. And you got to wait for that right moment. And when I hear go, then I know it's time to go. And that's because I'm always asking the divine for that sense of tell me, when is the energy right? When is the opening? When is that clear line, the clear path to the things that I need to get to, so I don't have to take the long way and the obstacles around, that it just happens because there is a go time. And if you get yourself constantly trapped in the energy, you're always kind of having to take the, the path that has been taken by many, but always be meet with obstacles and challenges because you listen to the outside instead of listening to the inside. This is the year to really listen to that internal self, the soul journey, that soul connection, and allow yourself to be guided by that instead of judging your experiences in a negative way. Time to turn it around, time to plug that battery in, time to charge it, and to know that it takes both positive and negative, but it both together can serve us well when we learn how to work with it. Much love. Have a beautiful year. And if you would like a more personal forecast reading until January the 15th, you can purchase the forecast readings on my website. You just got to go to shop. So the website is in the link below. You can also go to the Academy below and and purchase yourself a ticket for the online summit on January the 6th, 2023. It is a weekend event where you invest into you with 12 amazing presenters. And if you scroll all the way down, there is an add-on for an evening of mediumship with myself, or 2 hours of mediumship on the Saturday evening. And you get to, and you can sign up and be a part of that as well. It's an add-on though, so it's not a part of the weekend pass. You have to add it on. And there's many more things that is happening as well. I'll be in person in Leduc on January the 21st, doing a 2-hour mediumship with a dear soul sister and friend, Michelle. And we will have a day wellness where there will be many vendors offering many beautiful healing and treatment sessions and selling their amazing products all day long at the Best Western Plus Airport Hotel. Edmonton Airport Hotel, I think is what it's called. It's a long name, but it is by the Barney's restaurant. And so that'll be happening all day. And then the event for the evening, you can purchase the tickets on Eventbrite. You can find all the links and everything that you need directly from the website, or go to my Facebook page and everything is also there. Much love. And I hope you have a beautiful year, and I will see you soon. Please subscribe if you like these videos, so that we can keep doing what we do. And there's an opportunity also to make a donation if you so choose. It's not necessity, in the comments below as well. Much love. Bye-bye.